Chapter 7, creating vision and purpose. Learn objectives explain the relationship among vision, mission, strategy, mechanisms for execution, define vision and its impacts on the organization, describe the types and importance of personal visions held by employees, describe 4 basic approaches for framing a noble purpose, explain the role of strategic management in executing vision, apply the elements. So when we look at this, stimulating vision and strategy. Effective leaders communicate a vision that taps into the dreams for the future and link those dreams with strategic actions. Vision provides the why, whereas strategic action provides the how. So when people think in terms of vision areas, you think in terms of individuals who founded large organizations. And think about this, when they came up with nothing, somebody had to have the vision. Those are the visionaries. And then they came up with the vision, then the strategies is how we go about doing it. So linking strategic vision and strategic action. When we look at vision, we look at high. These are the people I refer to as the dreamers, the effective leader. These are the ones who can see things before others can see them or see things others can't see. Vision low, the uninvolved, the doer. That's the reasons why sometimes people fail, is because they're actually doers, but they're put in a position where they're actually being asked to be a dreamer, effective leader in that capacity, and some people are not wired that way. Decide strategic action. Strategic leadership means the ability to anticipate and envision the future, maintain flexibility, think strategically, and work with others to initiate changes that would create a competitive advantage for the organization. So this is where people look at it and they say, you know what, I'm being asked to take a look at where we are now. How do I take us into the future? And what route do we take to do that? The domain of strategic leadership. So if we look at the pyramid here, where are we headed? That's the vision. The vision is, when the visionaries think about it, this is like, where do I want to go? And who are we? Okay, who are we as an organization? Do we have the people in place that can execute on my vision? And how do you execute? What do you do to get there? Is strategy. What's our strategy for going there? Once you say, okay, once I have the vision, we got the right people, then what's our strategy for getting there? That's your roadmap. And what do we do right now? The mechanism for it, how do we lay the groundwork to set it up to get this thing to start? Remember, this is like building a house. So you must build a good foundation first before you can build the walls and the roof. Leadership vision. A vision is a vivid mental image of what the organization will accomplish in the future. So a vision is a vivid mental image of what the organization will accomplish in the future. So what does it look like? Somebody's got to see it, dream that up, think it up, and see it. And what does it look like? Because that person then has to go and tell others what they see. Leadership vision. Vision links the present to the future. Vision energizes people and focuses attention. Vision gives meaning to work. So when you look at the vision, this is the thing right here. Say, okay, we're here, and I want to take us to this next location. I want to take us higher. And then by sharing it, you get to, what I found with these kind of leaders, they can energize others to believe and see it. But most importantly, it gives meaning to what they do. What's the method for the madness? Or there is a method for the madness. The nature of the vision. So if you look at current reality, you see the straight line that says stay the course. This is where a lot of leaders would be comfortable at staying the course and doing the status quo. And this is safer for a lot of people. They're more comfortable with that. But these visionaries, this is not the way they want to go. They want to move towards a desired future. They're looking at today, but they're thinking about tomorrow too. And so they're going to go upward motion, and that's going to be that vision that we're talking about. The vision statements. I won't read all of these. I'll let you read through them on your own, but I will read the first two. McDonald's, be the best quick service restaurant experience. And Nike, bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. If you have a body, you're an athlete. This is what they truly believe. And they get their people to believe these things too. And then, you sell that throughout the organization. Individuals ignite individual purpose in others. So when someone like a visionary has individual purpose, then that individual purpose is a dominant sense of purpose of what matters in our lives and what is personally meaningful and valuable. Leaders can help people find their individual purpose and make sure individual and organizational purpose are connected. So I have the vision, I'm the dreamer, and then I want to talk about the strategy, come up there, but I got to get other people's individual purpose the same as mine. And mine has to be consistent with the organization and theirs too. When we do that, that's what we call having alignment from top to bottom. Now this is when you have people, you've assembled a team and people believe and they're willing to work and execute on stuff together. So there was research done that showed that most people are going to fall into one of 9 categories about individual purpose. So when you look to the right, you see agency at the top, you see integration at the bottom, far right. So that's when we're looking at activities that are catered towards self, agency, or others, integration. We see self and others at the bottom. This right here is dealing with the underlying motivations of self and others. When you look at this, just about everybody's going to fall in these categories. Now, the interesting thing is this. Most people will not fall in just one category. You're going to be a combination of multiple categories. And this is what also makes everybody unique. Mission. The mission of the organization's core broad reason for existence. It defines the company's core values and reasons for being, and it provides a basis for creating the vision. So what's our mission? This is something that everybody needs to understand what it is. It's like the why. The mission. What is our mission, the core reason, the why behind it all. So if we look at the power of a strong mission, we look at the bottom, you see the blue symbolizes, the blue bars, it symbolizes agree that the company mission makes their job important. The brown disagree that the company mission makes their jobs important. So when you see you have a strong mission, you see people are engaged with work. You see there's 60%. So when people say that they are paid appropriately, you notice the people who are strong mission and agree that if the mission makes their job important, look at that. You see the blue graph is consistently higher than the others, which tells you when people disagree that the company mission makes their job important, they're much more inclined to be happy, content, and probably less productive. We've all seen these commercials on TV with the Aflac duck. I mean, it's been on for years and stuff. But you know, when you look at Aflac, they have their mission and the values, and you look at it, theirs is the building better value for our shareholders, supplying quality service for our agents, providing enriching, rewarding workplace for our employees. So they're hitting all 3 areas. They're hitting the shareholders, the stakeholders, the shareholders, their agents, their employees, and also a rich environment working place for the employees. So, you know, this is what they do. You know, basically a happy employee is a productive employee. Framework of noble purpose. So everybody has purpose. So a leader's framework for noble purpose. So you look at purpose, description, basis for actions, examples. And I'll read the first one. Purpose is discovery, finding something new. Basis for the action is being a pioneer or entrepreneur. And examples of Google, 3M, Pfizer, Samsung. So remember, I will say this. Some people who have an entrepreneur spirit, basis for action, actually work in organizations. And what they will do a lot of times is they will find things and help these organizations move into the future with some of their ideas. But you can read the remainder on your own, the excellence, altruism, and heroism. The leader as the strategist. So strategy management refers to the set of decisions and actions used to formulate and implement specific strategies that will achieve a competitive superior fit between the organization and the environment. So realistically, the leader is a strategist. He's going to be not only have the vision, but also going to be heavily involved in the strategy. And this is the thing about what it is I think we should be doing. Use strategy to achieve vision. Strategy can be defined as the general plan of action that describes resource allocation and other activities for dealing with the environment and helping the organization attain its goals and achieve the vision. So when you look at strategy again, it's like helping us to how we're gonna get there. There's strategy. What's our strategy for getting there? Use strategy to achieve vision. So leaders ask these questions. Where is the organization now? Where does the organization want to grow? What changes and trends are occurring? with competitors, what courses of action can we achieve in the vision? So when you think into these are the kind of questions they ask because they want to know. Give you an example. You can have the vision and the strategy, but your organization might not be in the right place to execute on it. So this is why you want to know, where are we now? Where does the organization want to be? You can have the vision and strategy, but you may have an organization that may not want that vision and strategy. What changes and trends are occurring in the competitive environment? So if I want to know where we're going, one of the things I need to know is what competitors are doing. Is somebody already going there? Have they beat us there? Will we be the first to get there? What courses of action can help us achieve these visions? So what do we need to do to put things in place so that we can start this off successfully? Strategy formulation. Strategy formulation integrates knowledge of the environment, vision, mission with the company's core competencies in such a way to attain synergy and create value for the customers. So when you create that synergy within the organization, you're bringing multiple things together, the environment, the vision, the mission, to help create that synergy and moving things, positive energy in the right direction. But in the course of doing that, you're also looking to create value for the customers because that's the ultimate reason you're doing it. The customers are actually how you make the money. Strategy execution. Strategy execution involves putting strategy into an action by adjusting various parts of the organization or directing resources accordingly. So when you have strategy execution, give you an example. When I look at our resources, do we need to move resources from one part of the organization to another part to make something successful? Do we need to realign how management works with this particular project? Do we need to bring in SMEs, subject matter experts in certain capacities? So you'll do all these things right there with the strategic execution, trying to figure out how to make things, how to put the things in place to make our project successful. Effective strategy implementation. Create ongoing communication. Teach the why. Explain this new thing means to each person. Why explain what is not changing. When you're doing this, you're having a lot of moving parts. And so in order to make that successful, people have to be talking to each other. The right hand must know what the left hand is doing. Because even though they may be working by themselves, they're not working separately, they're not working by themselves, they're actually working together as a group. And there must be constant communication. People need to understand the why. Why am I doing this? That is very important for folks to understand the why. And when you hear that question, why, don't assume it's questioning your competence or your authority. They need purpose. Explain what this new thing means to each other person. So also when you explain the why, explain to the folks not only how the organization benefits, how the customers benefits, but how do they benefit as an individual, if possible. Explain what is not changing. If you're going to be implementing changes and stuff, let them know what's not changing as well. That's going to be vitally important so that people aren't confused about the new change and the things that's going to stay consistent. That concludes this chapter.